Hey all, I wish I would have taken a better picture of these that were posted on Facebook Marketplace. Now, these two nightstands, as well as an 8-drawer dresser that match, were for sale. And right now I'm just showing you what they look like. I haven't done anything to clean them up or anything. And I saw the post, and the images were not very good at all. So I reached out to the person and I said, hey, I think these are mid-century modern and I'm pretty sure they're worth some money. So if you just took better pictures, you probably would get more than the $500 that you want for the two nightstands and the dresser. So the gentleman who was helping the woman sell these wrote back to me and said that his friend was moving and she didn't have any time or space to keep these. And she was going from I think it was a 2 or 3 bedroom house to an apartment that was up a flight of stairs. So she did not want them anymore. And I said, I couldn't make any money off of these for $500 because I did not do my research beforehand. I was just looking at pictures on Facebook. So then the guy said, well, they're moving tomorrow. Do you want them for $100? And of course, I could make money off $100 because they're wood and beautiful and no problem. So my husband and I drove out to their place, which was about 20 minutes away, and we picked them up. And as we left, the woman of the house was very lovely and gave us a beverage. And I took photos of them, and the very first beginning of this video, as well as another image I'm going to have shown, is a Google search that I found. So what one can do is take a photo of something, and then you put it into the Google search, where there's a little picture that you can insert it. So I'm just showing you how kind of worn it is. There are some places like right here that have been scuffed. So I'm just giving you the overview right now. I am using simple green to clean this off. And after that, I do use water for rinsing. So I got home and I found these for sale for anywhere from about $1,700 to $2,300 just for the bedside tables. And I was a little bit shocked. So I did my research, and these were done by Brown Saltman, and that was the sticker that was inside of these two, as well as the dresser. And these were mid-century modern furniture. And Brown Saltman is a collaboration between Dave Saltman and Paul Frankel. And these were designed by John Keel. And he was born in 1917 and died in 1983. He was an American industrial designer, and he was known for his contributions for modern furniture. And he was born in Detroit, Michigan, and he studied at the Detroit School of Arts and Crafts before he started his career in the furniture industry. That is from Wiki. Anyway, so I brought these home, and I am doing what I'm doing right now. I first took simple green and sprayed it all over, and then I rinsed it off, and then I used Quickwood. Now, Quickwood, quick with a K, is very good. And I did go to the store to look for the stained wood, like it comes in a color. And growing up, that's what my father used. But I used this, and you can see it's kind of a light gray color when you smush it together. Now, when you mix it with your fingers, you should be wearing gloves, but I don't wear gloves very often because I can't feel anything, and I don't have the chemicals on my hands too long, so I don't worry about it. After I put the Quickwood on here, I then let it sit for a whole day. It was a very humid day where I live, so I let it sit for a whole day. And then I got, I believe it was 320 or 220, and I sanded off the Quickwood so it was smooth. And then I used a 1500 grit sandpaper and very gently just sanded everything. Now, the drawers did have some stains in them, which is often the case. So I did my best to get all of the stains off of them. And also inside there were some like drips. So I sanded those a little bit. And then the very top of the actual drawer, there were some little stains. So I gently sanded those. I also went to the store and got this walnut color Minwax. I very much like Minwax. There were other companies and they were just so much more expensive, and I don't make a lot of money off of flipping furniture, so I want the cheapest thing I can find. Anyway, I like Minwax, no problem. So after I sanded it all down, I used the Minwax and I stained the whole thing. And then I used Howard Feed and Wax just to clean up the inside of the drawers, to make it smell nice, make it look nice. And many people say, why do people do this? Furniture doesn't come this way normally. Well, it's nicer. So once you sand it all down, you don't want it to look sanded. You want it to look moist and delicious and lovely. And I don't normally put wallpaper in of these because I just don't care enough and I don't like it myself, so I don't do that. However, when some people do put interesting wallpaper, and I think it looks great. One thing I do is I always try to make the back of the furniture look as good as the front. So everything that I flip or that I keep for myself, I always either paint or stain the back after I've cleaned it up. And you can see at the top right, something was scraping the top of the wood as well as the back. And so I just stained this, make it look all nice and clean. And I think it looks really nice. So after I looked online to see how much these pieces were kind of worth, my neighbor lady, who's wonderful, had her friend, and her friend owns a consignment shop, or at least her husband works for one. I'm not really sure how it works. And she said that the websites that I found online are probably about double the price that she thinks they could actually sell for. This is the thing though, where does one sell their furniture? Now you can see on the bottom left, I'm keeping the stain there a little bit longer. That's where all the scratches were, and I did sand this to try to make it a little bit more smooth. And I do think that this is solid walnuts because I could see where it had been hit with something, and so the wood grain was all up. And I do know that if you put water on wood grain and you have something hot, it can rise or make the wood rise up. However, all I have is an iron, and so I didn't want to ruin anything by putting hot steam over all of the wood, so I just used quickwood. So I do know there are other ways to do it, and if you watch YouTube videos with professionals who, like Dasher Designs, oh my goodness, he just is amazing. So he does a really good job of fixing this. But after it's all turned, all cleaned up, I am very happy with this. So I told my husband that I want to keep these, but I end up keeping everything that I like. So I've posted this in a big city near me for about $1,300, and we'll see if it sells. And my plan is for every month, make it $50 less. And if it gets down to $800, then I get to keep it. And then after this, I'm going to be cleaning up the 8-drawer dresser. And then once that's finished, I'll repost them together and see if we get any bites that way. And the dresser online says it's worth like $2,500. But if you ever go to like Wayfair or one of those what's it called? There's lots of online places to get furniture. They are like $500 for one nightstand. So these are old, mid-century modern in really good condition. So we'll see how much they sell. So right now I'm just doing a kind of a close-up of how it looks. I think it's so pretty. So right there, you can kind of see where it had been hit. It's a little bit darker. However, there are other dark areas on the piece of furniture. So unless you look really, really carefully at the very end, it's kind of hard to see. And also, now here's the image. I brought it into the living room so that way it's warmer. And then it's also not in the way for cars to park in the garage. So here I'm showing the one closest to me. I used, back up. Yeah, so now first of all, I'm using Gator Hide by Dixie Belle. I love this, and I only am using it for a top coat on the very top of the dressers. And the reason for that is because we all know that people put moisture on top of dressers, and I don't want it to stain. So I do the top coat, and then I very gently sanded it, and then I did a second top coat, and then I let it dry for a day, and then I used linseed oil right here. So this one, you can see, this one I used the linseed oil, and the one behind it, I didn't do it yet. There is a slight difference in the color and the depth of the stain. It's so pretty. Here you can kind of see the difference. So after I did the before, then I used the linseed oil, and it's boiled linseed oil. Now, boiled linseed oil cures faster than raw linseed oil. And linseed oil can be put on top of anything, and it is an oil. That means that about every 6 months or so, you should put it back on the wood furniture. And that's the same with anything that's oil-based. So I know lots of people who refinish things don't like Howard Feed and Wax. I have no idea why. It's an oil, and it's not a forever fix. And nothing's a forever fix. These are from the 50s. They weren't perfect, right? You have to fix things up. Okay, so I brought these outside, and I'm showing you how they look with better lighting. And, oh, I just think they're so beautiful. So I posted them on Facebook Marketplace, but there is a slight holiday around here right now. So I haven't got any, there's about 27 people who looked and one person who saved it. And if this is walnut. And oh my goodness, I just think it's so, so lovely. The drawers open so easily, and the doors open very easily as well. And you can kind of see here where the stain was. And there's the name of it. And I did try to get most of it out, but I don't want to go too far down and ruin anything. Okay, so here they are next to each other. And if these were to be in a bedroom, I don't think you could see many of the faults. You just put them in the right place next to the bed and they'd be perfect. So we'll see if I get to keep them or not. At the very end, after this, you will see the post that I found online. And we'll see if I get anything close to what they have. Okay, that's what I saw. $1,700 plus tax. Oh my. So if you like this video, I tried to make it a little bit shorter with less moving around for people. Please subscribe and have a great day. Wish me luck. Bye-bye.